where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and hello there, Street Fighter fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. Today is another one of those awesome crossover 2-packs, and this is one of the newest released crossover 2-packs in the United States, but actually this is an older crossover 2-pack. So this isn't actually really part of the current ongoing Transformers crossovers line, where we've had all kinds of awesome, really cool pop culture crossovers in the Transformers line. This is actually an older one where we got this cool crossover from Titans Returns figures, one Thrilling 30s figure, and there's actually two of these 2-packs. So the first 2-pack, this is part 1 of the Street Fighter crossover reviews. Part 2 will feature Ryu and M. Bison. So part 1 features Ken versus Chun-Li, and it's an awesome 2-pack. I don't know why Hasbro decided to import it over here into the States. I'm happy they did, because it's a cool 2-pack that at first was a Japanese exclusive, and it's a cool one. So this was for the 35th anniversary of, I believe, Street Fighter, and I could be wrong on that, so please somebody set me straight in the comments and let me know which 35th anniversary this is. But I don't think this was for the 35th anniversary of Transformers, because I want to say these 2-packs came out a few years sooner than that. So it's probably the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter, maybe more specifically Street Fighter 2, which these versions are based off of. The packaging art on these boxes is absolutely phenomenal. They really outdid themselves on the box art for these. So on the back of the outer box, and yes, outer box, we have Ken and Chun-Li in both their robot and vehicle modes. And that's it for the outer box. And here is the inner box. And that's so cool. So again, Ken versus Chun-Li there. They're both Autobots. And I love how they're posed in the packaging. I like that they're posed simulating fight moves from Street Fighter 2. So you got Ken, looks like he's doing a little bit of a block there. Chun-Li's doing that cool upside down kick. On the back, you've got words and things in other languages that I most certainly cannot read, but you also have some really cool artwork. And the thing I love about the back artwork so much is that with the figures, they pose them doing some of the signature fight moves that these characters do in the video game. Really awesome. Now, me personally, and nobody get too mad at me here. Me personally, I would be even more excited if these were Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat's the best fighting game. You know, it is. I'm sorry. If you think Street Fighter's better or Tekken's better, you're just wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you, you're wrong. Mortal Kombat's better. Okay, maybe Mortal Kombat's not the best, but it's my preferential fighting game. You know, it's just awesome. I mean, could you imagine a Scorpion and Sub-Zero Transformer crossover 2-pack? That would just be the coolest, right? On top, you've got some artwork of all 4 figures there. So you've got M. Bison, Ryu, Chun-Li, and Ken. On the bottom, you got some more words and things, and that's pretty much it for the inner box. You have this awesome background where you've got Ken versus Chun-Li. Ken just coming in there with the uppercut, man. That's pretty rough there. And there they are side by side. They look really great. I didn't bring any of the original Titans Return versions of any of the characters that were repainted into Street Fighter characters here for this crossover 2-pack, mostly because I don't really have those in my collection right now. I mean, I had the Hot Rod at one point because it was a really good modern Hot Rod, but you know, now I have the Studio 86 Hot Rod, and it's way better and way more G1 accurate, and I kind of lean towards more G1 accuracy than I do, you know, is it a Headmaster, is it not? Well, Hot Rod's not a Headmaster, so, I mean, as awesome as this mold is, and as cool as the Headmaster feature is, I prefer my Hot Rod to be more traditional, not a Headmaster versus, you know, a Headmaster. But I don't mind it so much with the Street Fighter figures, and I thought I would. I thought, you know, when I first saw them, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get them because I'm already collecting all the different, characters, and especially the crossover line stuff, because I love a good crossover toy. But, you know, it's a headmaster, and it shouldn't be. But honestly, I don't think it really matters. And actually, I think it suits these characters rather well. And RC is, or rather, Chun-Li is kind of the odd one out, because she's the only one who's not a headmaster in the line. And I get why she's not, because she didn't really have a Titans Return headmaster figure up until much later. And I can't remember if the Headmaster RC came out before or after these 2 packs, because it's, like I said, it's been a while and my memory's a little fuzzy. So if somebody remembers, please throw that in the comments as well. But overall, I do really like them, you know, and I feel like, especially since this was originally a Takara piece, them being headmasters isn't a big deal, especially since they, you know, look like themselves in their little head robot mode, which is really cool. And the way I kind of look at it is, it's much like the mechs or Trans-Tector suits that they had in Super God Master Force, whereas the headmaster characters in there were, you know, regular people who could transform into a head for their Trans-Tector that they combined to fight off, you know, Decepticons, or Decepticons fight Autobots. You know how it is. And actually, I do kind of like that. I feel like it fits the Street Fighter narrative rather well, aside from Chun-Li. And that's why I feel Chun-Li is the odd one out, because, you know, she's the only one who doesn't have that gimmick. So Chun-Li's just really big, and everybody else is teeny tiny, you know. I mean, plus also on the packaging, it's Hot Rod as Ken, RC as Chun-Li, Megatron as M. Bison, Optimus Prime as Ryu. But that's not really how I see these figures. It's Ken, Chun-Li, Ryu, and M. Bison. You know, that's how it is. Not so-and-so as so-and-so. Not this guy as this guy, you know. I think it makes more sense to have them in the collection as their own unique characters, much like another crossover figure, you know? I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, I get that. That makes sense. Real quick for comparison, here is Ken next to the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. And this is another reason why I wanted to compare the Studio Series Hot Rod next to the Headmaster Ken figure, because I like that I have 2 different molds here versus just, okay, here it is in Hot Rod colors, here it is in, you know, Ken colors. I think it sets apart the differences of these 2 characters that much more, and overall will make for a much cooler display on shelf. And for comparison, here is Chun-Li next to the Studio Series 86 RC, and vice versa. You know, I had the Thrilling 30s RC figure. In fact, I showed it off in the Studio 86 RC review, but, you know, RC, Chun-Li, I wanted to show them off side by side and show off the differences between the 2 of them. We're going to go ahead and focus on Ken first here. I already kind of showed off his headmaster, but I'll show it off again in better detail here. So, really awesome colors, matches the colors almost perfectly as Ken's color scheme. And again, that's all they did, was they took Hot Rod here and they made him into Ken from Street Fighter 2. You got the awesome Street Fighter 2 logo there on his spoiler, which I really like that. I think that's another really cool detail to this figure. I like how the black Autobot logo just kind of seamlessly blends into the what was the black trim-like part on his gi and for his outfit in the game. I like how we have these beige colors, because in-game he's showing a little chest. The skin tone on the face looks good, even on the hands, on the feet, because he's not wearing shoes, which is dangerous as a Street Fighter, because, you know, if you're fighting in the street, sometimes there's debris, broken glass. It's dangerous. You know, you could step on something and hurt yourself. So you should wear shoes, buddy. Wear shoes. For little Ken, simply just remove the head, fold him up, and there he is. He has a little bit of articulation, shoulder articulation, hips, knees. No individual leg articulation though. Head is on a ball joint. And again, they nailed those paint apps even on the little Ken figure. Those same details are there, just broken down a little bit. But I also really like how he's more sleeveless on the head. I like how it's not exactly the same overall paint job. I love how he's sleeveless on the little figure. Anyway, articulation in his full robot mode. Head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders that are on a ball joint, upper bicep, single jointed elbows. Wrists go in and out mostly due to transformation. There's no rotation or swivel on those. And then I love what they did with the hot rod blasters and cast them in this metallic, almost chrome red like plastic. I also like that they took chipping and stuff into consideration and did not paint the handles in that same color. They just left those as regular red plastic, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about that metallic red color chipping off and rubbing off into the hand, and you don't have to worry about it just, you know, getting damage from taking it in and out of the hand off of the handle also, which that's pretty cool. You can also still combine his blasters into one double barrel blaster. Just take the two halves, bring them together, and get it clicked into place. And then now he has his double barrel blaster, which looks pretty cool. Transformation is just like on the regular release of the Titans Return Hot Rod. We're going to start by removing the headmaster once again, straightening out the arms and actually tabbing them in place. So you'll hear it click. Here we go. Flip in the fists on both sides. We're going to pull back on this backpack section a little bit just to give us some wiggle room here. We're going to pull forward on the chest section and untab that from the torso and just basically bring it all the way up, or as far as we can get it for now. Next, we're going to bring these shoulders forward and get them tabbed into the side. So there's basically the front of the car all done. Come down to the legs. We're going to fold out that calf section with those pipes on the back. We're going to fold in the feet, or at least the heels of the feet, because the front of the feet are still kind of exposed. We're going to tab the legs together, and then we're going to rotate the waist all the way around. And then we're going to fold the legs in at the knees, line it up with the hands, line up the pipes, plug in the pipes together, all that good stuff. And then we're going to come to this section right here. We're going to pull on this rear section. It's on a double hinge. We're going to fully extend it out on that last hinge, rotate it around, and bring it down and tab it into place. And there we go. There is Ken in his sports car mode. And it looks really awesome. I wasn't sure how he was going to look in person in these colors because, you know, this is a new character based off of well, not really a new character, but this is a crossover character based off of a previous existing mold, and Hot Rod has a very unique design that doesn't usually translate into other characters often, aside from that one time where it translated into Sideburn in the Collectors Club. And honestly, I think it works. I think he looks cool. So for him to ride, just like you could with the Titans Returns or Headmaster figures, whatever you want to call it, just have him sit down, close the canopy, and there you go. He's ready to ride. You can take his double barrel blaster here, and you can also flip open this section here, exposing this peg hole. And you can peg the blaster in like so, although it looks kind of wonky while he's in car mode. But what you can also do is you can peg each blaster onto the side of the car, and these little peg holes here, and these cool little double barrel stuffs. And there you go. That's pretty much it for that. For comparison, here he is next to Studio 86 Hot Rod and both their awesome sports car modes. As you can see, Ken's just a little bit bigger than Hot Rod, but still also very similar looking, which I like. And again, this is the other reason why I like the Hasbro just straight up imported this set of 2 packs with the Titans Return molds versus redoing this set of figures with the more modern molds because I like seeing this variation here. I like seeing these slightly different molds used that were, again, good molds at the time, just not the best molds for these characters now. Next up here we have Chun-Li, and again she's looking very nice. Just again the Thrilling 30s RC mold repainted into Chun-Li's color scheme. Still has the same big blaster that pegs onto the hip, the regular more G1 style RC blaster pistol that you can peg onto either hip as well. The two really cool Energon swords that are these awesome gold-like color this time, which I also really like. In fact, I like them more in this gold color than I did the clear Energon blue color that came with the regular 30s RC. Overall, she has those awesome details that Chun-Li has. She has the same pattern on her chest there, which is also on the hood of her vehicle mode over here. She has the buns on the side. She's got the bracelets on both of her wrists, which is really cool. It would have been nice if they added some extra molding here. I get why they didn't, because it would have interfered with transformation a little bit, but still overall really cool. Same articulation, fully articulated head is on a ball joint, ball jointed shoulders, upper bicep, single jointed elbows, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist, fully articulated hips, lower thigh swivel, single jointed knees, forward and back on the ankle joints for the foot, and no side ankle joints because this was before they added side ankle joints. So that's pretty much it for articulation. For comparison, here she is next to Studio 86 RC once again, just so you can see how awesome they look side by side. And again, transformation is just like with the regular Thrilling 30s RC. We're going to start by pulling up on this chest piece here, separating this whole section out. We're going to pull up on that a little bit. We're going to extend this back section right here, and then we're going to bring her upper torso all the way up and click it into place like I just did. Fold the lower part of her torso in like so, and bring up her arms. Fold those in under here. See what I mean by if they had added the spikes, it would have interfered with transformation a little bit because that's a very small space to fit those arms in. Next, we're going to come over here to the back of the car. We're going to fold out the rear section of the vehicle. We're going to bring it down, and as we do that, we're going to come to the legs. We're going to bring the hips up like so, and then we're going to pull on the side of the hips and extend them on these double hip joints. Bring it up, and then this part of the side of the thigh is going to peg over this little peg right here and become part of the rear of the vehicle. So we're just going to go ahead and get that all into position there. Oh, I messed up. I totally forgot. It's with the Studio 86 figure, her arms go up there. Her legs go up there for this one. So we're going to go ahead and pull those arms back up. And with that joint right there, we're going to pinch the arms together, and then we're going to bring the legs up, and those are going to go in that little spot right there. I can't believe I forgot that. Okay. Next, we're going to do the same thing with the other leg. Bring that out on that double hinge joint. Bring that thigh over. Just kind of straighten it out. Tab that foot right there. Get that other tab right underneath that bit of the thigh. So there is most of the vehicle mode all done. Next, we come to the arms, and we just kind of bring them down the middle like so, and that's where the arms go in vehicle mode. For real this time. Can't believe I forgot that little detail. And there she is in her car mode. Again, really awesome, and like I said, when she was in robot mode, I like how she has her little chest pattern that she has in the game as the hood of the vehicle. I think that looks really cool. Still has that awesome RC little antenna there hanging off the back. I like how she's got the golden windshield there, much like her Energon weapons. I like that that matches. Overall, the vehicle mode looks very nice for this figure. Another awesome fembot for the collection. And for comparison, here she is next to regular RC in vehicle mode. And again, just like with Hot Rod, the reason I like to showcase the other mold is because it's nice to see and compare what I think is the best regular character mold versus this awesome repaint into another character mold that they did here with Chun-Li here. You can see the differences between the two. And then, of course, for comparison here, the two respective 2-pack figures are side by side in their vehicle modes. And again, they look really nice. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review, part 1 of the 2-part video featuring the Transformers crossovers with Street Fighter 2 characters featuring Ken and Chun-Li first. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video. It'll probably be uploaded on the same day or pretty soon thereafter, if not on the same day, with M. Bison versus Ryu, which is another really awesome 2-pack. Stay tuned for some of our other Transformers reviews, and check out some of the other reviews we do here on Bay 12 as well, because we have a wide variety of content where we review all kinds of different awesome things here on Bay 12. Check out our live sales, and make sure you're following us on social media, and keep notifications, and of course, be subscribed to our YouTube channel so you know updates for when new videos and reviews go up, news announcements go up, and as well as news about our upcoming live sales go up, so you don't miss any of that awesome content. And of course, go check out our physical location in the shops at Willow Bend Mall in Plano, Texas, inside Order 66 Multiverse. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. And as always, transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.